Oh, it's a header! It's another goal! Agri can't believe it. It was left unmarked. And from, what, 18 inches, he heads over the line. It's 2-0. I don't think Torquay can believe it.
Exeter won to increase the pressure once again on our local teams. That late equaliser, a real setback for us. Both lost yesterday to ease the pressure on our local teams slightly. That's it for now. Bye for now.
The Pilgrims just before the transfer deadline at a cost of £30,000. Exeter City's manager Noel Blake has brought in 3 new faces at St James Park as they look to beat Kidderminster Harriers at home. And Torquay striker Tony Beddoe is suspended for tonight's game at Carlisle, in which the Gulls must avoid defeat. Taunton Town are halfway to the...
Peterson at relegation rivals Carlisle last night. Former Argyle keeper pulled off a string of fantastic saves throughout the Brunton Park 6-pointer. First he denied Ian Stevens after just 2 minutes and then just managed to get his fingertips to this long-range curling effort from John Cullen. Torquay's chances were few and far between. A point would have been an excellent result, but Carlisle finally made the breakthrough after exactly an hour. Stevens keeping his cool to finally beat Peterson. Torquay saved their best until the final 10 minutes, but they never created any clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. This their best chance of an equaliser from substitute Gareth Law. It summed up the night and the work that lies ahead in the final few weeks of the season. Well, it's not been a good day.
3 met at Brunton Park on Friday. Torquay goalkeeper Andy Peterson made an impressive debut, but manager Wes Saunders was dismissed from the dugout before half-time when Torquay had a penalty appeal turned down. Carlisle took the lead after an hour. Ian Stevens getting in on the end of John Cullen's cross. Torquay pressed for an equaliser, but they couldn't find a way past Matthew Glennon. Paul Bracewell has signed Neil Redfern from...
But it's surely going all the way to the last week this season in the biggest relegation battle of all. Even the likes of Barnet and York could be in for an anxious finish. There's no room for complacency. With the top of the table Brighton-Chesterfield match rained off and no game for Cardiff, the first 3...
Turbulent week for Torquay United. Wes Saunders sacked and Colin Lee agreeing somewhat reluctantly to stand in until a new manager is appointed. And all this against the backdrop of a desperate struggle against relegation. The Gulls bottom of the table, but showing plenty of fighting spirit to hold up Hull's playoff charge. In the commentary box, Martin Dean.
Herrera to deliver the cross. Oh, an easy one, or it should have been at least. Well, Kevin Hill will be wondering how he missed that one. He had acres of space then, and your money would have been on him to score from what was the simplest of opportunities, really. Now David Graham, he'll go for the shot. Oh, struck it pretty well. Well, David Graham has been brought in to bolster Torquay's firepower. Well, on the evidence of that little effort, it might not be a bad acquisition. Well, Brian Little in charge of Hull City. Rumours that his brother Alan is in the running for the Torquay United job, along with Neville Southall and Roy McFarland. They're the 3 favourites at the moment, anyway. Rabin with the clearance towards Kevin Francis. It'll come through for David Brown. Back towards Francis. Well, that was only just wide. Well, it looked as if it might have taken the deflection. In fact, Francis appealing for the corner. Not given by the referee, but certainly a scare then for Torquay United. Now Rob Matthews. Herrera going with him. Matthews still managing to get the cross in. Kell almost running into trouble in the form of Lee Philpott. Now Agri getting it away. David Graham. Little chip over the top. Now Sissoko was onside. He'd come back into an onside position. Schalke is on the far side. And the ball flicked away by Gary Brabin in the end. Promising break from Torquay United. Needed Sissoko to deliver the final ball, though. And he wasn't quite able to. Now danger at the other end. This is Rob Matthews weaving his way through. And Russell eventually making the challenge and deflecting it away for the corner. Philpott with the corner, headed away by Russell. Matthews having one shot, he might have another now. Oh, and that took a little deflection somewhere, I think. Patterson was stood rooted to his spot then. I think he was relieved just to see the ball fly past the post. Trying to go all the way himself, Jimmy Agri. He fancies the shot from there. Well, Jimmy Agri, not exactly a prolific goal scorer. Having got one at Orient the other week, perhaps fancied the opportunity to double his tally. Ryan Green. That come for Kevin Hill, right across the face. Well, it just needed a touch. David Graham was right in there, but couldn't get on the end of it. And a little bit of a luck net off Hull City then. Now Whittle. Russell should get there ahead of air. Oh, and Andy Pedersen making a right mess of that. Ryan Green coming to his rescue. Well, the pitch does bobble a little bit. Andy Pedersen certainly won't be used to it. It's his home debut, of course. Hill making the challenge. Now Schalke, who has given it away. This is Mike Edwards. Good ball for Rob Matthews. Oh, nice little bit of skill from Matthews. Got away from Herrera. Russell came across. Oh, good shot and good save. Gary Fletcher getting the shot in, and Pettersson showing great reactions again. Header away this time from Agri. Rabin picking up the loose ball, looking to chip it back in. Ryan Green underneath it this time. David Graham back there as well, helping out. Whittle with the header over the top. Now the flag has stayed down. Pedersen is beaten. And Hull City are in front. Andy Holt has got the goal. Torquay throwing men forward. And they produce something here. Badly need a goal quickly. Ryan Green in towards Kevin Hill. Hill just wide, holding his head. Pettersson with the free kick then. Too high for Agri. Gareth Law trying to get in on the loose ball. Holt getting it half away. Agri. And that handball from Jason Rees. Referee shook his head. With that handball, it certainly looked like it. And a penalty has been given. He scored on his debut. And he scored again. Richard Kell, perhaps earning Torquay United a very valuable home point. Struck the penalty firmly. The game is already a minute into stoppage time. And having looked down and out, Torquay have a lifeline. Herrera up for the header. Now Schalke. Played through the middle for Gareth Law. Gareth Law with a chance. Can he get the rebound? And Whittle getting back to put it out for the corner. Well, high drama in the closing minutes.
I was relieved, but I felt we deserved a point. You know, I think we created as many good opportunities as them, if not maybe a couple of more. But we weren't able to take those opportunities. And as the game went on, I thought it was going to be a 1-0 to either side. The pleasing thing is that we kept going. I stuck Jimmy Agri up there to try and cause him a few problems. And from sort of trying to get back in the game, we got a decision that went for us, really.
Not looking too good then for Torquay, especially with a trip to promotion-chasing Cardiff on Saturday. Exeter's position looking a little healthier, but it's far from over yet. Well, Plymouth Argyle's away record has... United's Football League fate is in the hands of Colin Lee. He's agreed to stay on as caretaker manager at Playmore until the end of the season. And he faces a must-win Tuesday night game at home to Macclesfield, with the Gulls still rock bottom of the third division after their latest setback at high-flying Cardiff. But there were encouraging signs that their fortunes may be about to change. The Commentary comes from Seth Conway.
Legs thrown. Bowen loses out to Chalky. Almost runs for Badeau, but Badeau will get it now and switches the angle for Jason Rees. Rees with the crafty chip and only just over the top. Well, Jason Rees returning to Wales, the former Welsh international, was released by Tony Badeau, and he saw Cardiff keeper Carl Muggleton off his line and thought, why not? Gordon wins the header well, finds Brayson. Bowen into the middle as Gavin Gordon gets there himself. It's a patient approach. Oh, and Josh Lowe was caught late by the Torquay captain, Lee Russell. It's a flashpoint, as Jason Rees complains, but Lee Russell was late into the challenge. Nothing malicious in it, but it did catch Josh Lowe around the rib cage. Andy Legg does have a dangerous left foot as he lets fly, and Pedersen does really well. Could only have seen it late, the Torquay goalkeeper, as Legg's free kick came through the wall. And Pedersen, on loan from Portsmouth, palmed it away. Corner's taken short. Plenty still in the middle as Jason Bowen looks to change the angle. Teasing Ryan Green. Skids all the way through. There's Brayson. Can turn it back for Gavin Gordon. It was an instant header from Gordon, and Andy Pedersen was equal to him. Gavin Gordon didn't have time to think about it, just cocked his head around. But unfortunately for him, it was straight into the gloves of Andy Pedersen. It's a neat turn from Graham. It's a fantastic finish from David Graham, and Torquay take the lead on the half hour. The man who's come into Torquay as their saviour from Rangers and Dunfermline in the past has scored a cracking goal. It's shocked Cardiff. It's Cardiff 0, Torquay 1. Well, Graham just picked it up, and they said this is what he could do, and boy, could he do it. A fantastic goal. But now Graham. Here's Bolland. Gabardon looks to take on Paul Holmes. And get past Holmes and pull it back for Brayson. Well, not for the touch of Lee Russell. Then Paul Brayson would surely have levelled the scores. It was a lovely drag across his body, and as he looked for the top corner, Lee Russell's touch just took it over. Well, number 19, Robert Earnshaw, isn't the man that Torquay would have wanted to see come on at the start of the second half. 23 goals already this season, including a hat-trick down at Playmore when the sides met previously. Earnshaw has been injured. That's why he hasn't started today, as Torquay look to start the half brightly. Tony Badeau with the immediate snapshot saved by Muggleton. And Earnshaw might be the man to take away this dream lead from Torquay. Now Legg turn the ball to Willie Bolland. In field for Bonner. Bonner has gone a long way, but run himself into something of a cul-de-sac, but he has found Andy Legg. It's a decent ball in for Fortune West. He just got under the ball, and the header just drifted over from Leo Fortune West. Scored 9 goals this season. Couldn't get his 10th. Gabardon looks for Earnshaw. Earnshaw nudged off the ball by Green, but Green has presented it straight to Andy Legg. Looks towards Brayson, who made the header, and it's a fantastic header from Paul Brayson. Some sort of normality is restored here at Ninian Park. It's Cardiff City 1, Torquay United 1. The ball was just tossed into the middle by Andy Legg, and there was Paul Brayson climbing highest to get his 11th goal of the season. Is Torquay's dream of an away win over. Bowen. Earnshaw comes towards the near post. Fortune West is at the far. Weston looks for Brayson. Brayson able to get there ahead of Russell. Can he find a fellow man? All he could find was the boot of Jimmy Agri. Any error in Agri's judgment, and that would surely have gone into his own net. Another Andy leg exocet into the penalty area as Pettersson misses it, and the deflection takes it in. Leo Fortune West is going to get the credit, and Cardiff will remain unbeaten at home. It's Cardiff City 2, Torquay United 1. As the throw hurled into the middle, Pettersson tried to get it through a crowd of players, but it fell to the feet of Fortune West. And was it a deflection? Either way, it's gone in. Reese. Ryan Green. Ryan Badeau tries to cushion the header for Sissoko. Sissoko gets there, and not a bad effort from Habib Sissoko, the substitute. Came on to replace Richard Kell. And within the first couple of minutes, able to test the gloves of Carl Muggleton. There's Willie Bowen with him. But Bowen looked for Earnshaw. Earnshaw will take the deflection off the referee. And that is the quick thinking of Robert Earnshaw that has brought him to the light of so many top clubs. The Zambian-born adopted Welshman is now a real hit. What a goal that could have been.
I mean, we went very close to getting something from the game. We're all disappointed really with the goal that we conceded, you know. I mean, it was the set piece that we worked on to sort of defend against, and unfortunately Andy Pettersson probably should have punched with two hands instead of one, and misjudged it. He's held his hand up, he said that it's his fault, but having said that, Andy made 2 or 3 excellent saves before that, so somehow, you know, we've got to accept that and take all the performance levels really, and you know, there was some good performances today. It was a good team performance, and we've got to try and take that into our next game.
So Torquay still with it all to do, and now only 7 games left to save themselves. Exeter have just 5 matches to go, but their league status looks a little more secure.
Yes, a great performance from Torquay United here at Plainmoor. They boosted their survival hopes with a superb 2-0 victory over Macclesfield, and what turned out to be a pretty good night for West Country football, with Plymouth Argyle picking up a valuable away point with a 1-1 draw at Leyton Orient. But it was Torquay who took pride of place. This was a match they simply had to win, and from the outset their determination was there for all to see. David Graham was desperately unlucky not to put them in front, but Torquay didn't have to wait long for the breakthrough. Tony Beddoe grabbing the all-important goal after 18 minutes. Torquay went on to dominate the match after that, and they should have doubled their advantage just after half-time. But the Macclesfield goal suddenly developed a charmed life. Torquay, though, weren't to be denied, and Effian Williams crowned a superb performance with a brilliant finish to make it 2-0, 11 minutes from time. And with their main relegation rivals, Carlisle, Lincoln and Halifax all losing, Torquay have climbed to 3rd from bottom of the 3rd Division table. There's still a long way to go, but with this sort of form, you wouldn't bet against Torquay surviving the drop. It finished Torquay United 2, Macclesfield 0. Martin Dean at Plainmoor for West Country News.
France have won this evening's...
Good evening. Easter Monday action coming up as the bank holiday weekend leaves Torquay and Exeter in deep trouble. So close to Hill, but Torquay face a mountain climb to survival. 1 point out of 6 for Exeter. They're still not clear of danger. And Sturrock gets tough as Kidderminster complete a miserable weekend for Argyle. Well, the fight for Football League survival is set to go right down to the final games and the final Saturday of the season. Torquay still in big trouble despite picking up priceless points over the last few days. Saturday's 0-0 draw at Mansfield, followed by another goalless stalemate against Shrewsbury yesterday. Even more frustrating because they had great chances to win. Our Plainmoor commentator, Martin Dean.
Well, if Torquay United are to survive in the Football League, their form here at Plainmoor could be the key. It's the first of 3 home games between now and the end of the season. Maximum points would almost certainly be enough. to guarantee their safety. Johnson was fouled. It's going to be Ryan Lowe to curl it in. Header away from Bedo, picked up by Gregor Riot. Trying the long-range effort, and Pedersen saw it late, I think. Both hands behind it, but that's the closest we've come, certainly. Long-range effort from Gregor Riot, bringing out the best in Andy Pedersen. This little 1-2. And then he missed out Tolley altogether. Picked up by Kevin Hill. Gonna try the long-range effort. It was only just wide from Kevin Hill. Holmes with the little chip in towards Schalke. And he got in ahead of his marker, Khalid Schalke. Couldn't quite keep the header down, but not a bad effort from Torquay, who were beginning to get a grip on the game. And back for Khalid Schalke. This turn from the Frenchman, curled in towards Effian Williams. And, well, you've got to give the goalkeeper credit then, I think. Just the sort of ball that Effian Williams tends to thrive on. Took it down well, but full credit to Paul Edwards coming across and making the block, making it awkward for the striker. Here getting it half away. Khalid Schalke with the shot. And Edwards through a crowd of players, doing well to punch that one away. Well, Torquay coming close once again. Corner causing all sorts of panic in that Shrewsbury defence. Schalke with the header, finding Bedo. Effian Williams wanting it played through the middle. He's got away from Davison. Can he get the shot in here? And again, Edwards coming to Shrewsbury's rescue. Well, he really has been in the thick of things. It was Paul Edwards. Again, the ball played where Effian Williams wanted it. Got away from Ross Davidson. And the shot well blocked by the goalkeeper. Come off his line well. Amner with the throw. Away by Agri. Sissoko jumping for it, not getting it. This is Bedo. Now Rees, first time through the middle for Kevin Hill. Kell to his right, Sissoko to his left. Habib Sissoko! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, that really was a glorious opportunity. Habib Sissoko, who's only just come on, I suppose that's some excuse, but beautifully played in by Kevin Hill. And really should have done an awful lot better than that. Cross curled in towards Bedo, headed away by Andrew Tretton. Schalke trying to turn it back in again. Now Richard Kell. Back for Kevin Hill. Little chip for Bedo, trying the overhead. Well, it was athletic, acrobatic almost. Unfortunately for Tony Bedo, not too effective. Paul Pedersen stepping over the ball, and having to use his hands. Well, he got away with that, Andy Pedersen, but only just. Paul Holmes getting the ball in. Kevin Hill with the header. And was that Torquay United's last chance, I wonder? Well, a good corner from Paul Holmes, and Kevin Hill just getting away from his marker. Got the header down, but unfortunately for him, straight at Paul Edwards. Well, we've played more than 2 minutes of stoppage time. Ryan Green with the free kick towards Tony Bedo. Edwards coming for it, not getting it. Hill off the post. Oh, how close in the dying moments for Torquay United. Well, for once, Paul Edwards was beaten. couldn't hold the free kick. It dropped for Kevin Hill. We seem to have done everything right, but the ball just deflected against the upright.
I felt that we did enough really to win the game. Missed opportunities, I think. Half chances not quite taken. But the pitch was very, very difficult. You know, it was a very bumpy pitch, and I think perhaps that played into their hands a little bit because being the home team, obviously we've got the onus on us to try and win that game, and unfortunately the pitch made it very, very difficult for us. You know, you've got to win your home games. We've got to beat Darlington and we've got to beat York City. We've got to try and beat Plymouth next week. So you know, the lads are going to have a couple of days break now, recharge their batteries, get themselves really psyched up for the last 4 games.
And we'll take a look at the bottom. Have 3 games left, Torquay 4. Not a lot of room for manoeuvre down at the bottom. A points total of at least 48 needed to stand a chance of staying up. Well, still to come, highlights of... Hello and welcome to a roundup of the action from what was arguably the biggest weekend of the season so far for our top local clubs. It's looking grim for the Gulls. Rock bottom again after Stonebridge strikes twice to give Plymouth a Derby Day victory. It's not all over yet for Exeter. Stalemate against the Shamen means they're still not safe. And all square in that conference clash of the Titans. Yeovil just failed to make it a Diamonds double. Well, there were no local favours granted in the last Devon derby of the season. Plymouth Argyle turning up the relegation heat on Torquay with a 3-1 win at Home Park. The first half dismissal of French midfielder Khalid Shalki ultimately proving a decisive factor in United's downfall after a bright start. Well, let's catch up with the action and commentator Martin Dean.
Well, it's 30 years since Torquay United last won a league game here at Home Park. And if these local derbies aren't to become a thing of the past, they badly need to end that sequence this afternoon. Realistically, Torquay need 2 more victories to preserve their league status. They don't want to leave it until the final game of the season. They face fellow relegation candidates Barnet away. They do have 2 home games to follow this one, of course. A casual clearance from Jimmy Agri then. And Sullivan back in the thick of things. He's won a throw. Corner has been given. Sullivan to curl it in towards Craig Taylor on the far post. Agri with the header away. Craig Taylor getting the cross back in again though. Just too long for Michael Evans. Taylor doing well. Too many clear-cut opportunities so far. Just a little too long for Michael Evans. Cut out by Lee Russell. Dedo ducking underneath it. Just waiting to see if there was any advantage. He's given the free kick. Paul Holmes looking to float it in towards Jimmy Agri. Lario coming for it, not really getting it. Someone was pulled back in the box then. I think it was David Frio. Steve Bennett just indicating that the shirt was pulled. The Argyle players aren't happy with the decision. Torquay United have a penalty. Richard Kell then against Romain Lario, and Keller scored. Torquay United given a lifeline which comes slightly against the run of play. They will be very grateful for it. A little bit of indiscipline from Argyle. Richard Kell very calmly tucking the ball past Romain Lario. Torquay United have a vital lead. Phillips back for Watton. Cross towards Evans on the far side. Didn't judge the header too well. Sullivan will keep it in play. There's Wetherick. Oh, he was caught late then. Khalid Shalki in trouble with the referee. It was more of a mistimed tackle than anything else then. It's a yellow card, though. Good turn from Stonebridge. Now a chance for Wills, and it's turned in, or is it? Good save from Northmore. Well, Ryan Northmore somehow denying David Frio then, when he looked certain to score. Well, it was Kevin Wills' initial effort. David Frio just diverting it goalwards. Northmore somehow managing to smother it and make the save, but something of a let-off for Torquay United. Full credit to Northmore for getting some part of his body in the way. Alan Green was caught then by Michael Evans. Now, what is going on? Because Jimmy Agri was getting a little bit angry about it.